We all ready? You guys all set? Okay, I think we're ready to go. Welcome to the Voodoo Garden. My name is Ray. I will be your host, and these are my co-hosts today. I was supposed to have Rascal here as a co-host, but as soon as I got everything set up and I sat down, Rascal took off, so he's upstairs sleeping on my bed, stinking it up because we had a storm last night, and there was actually a tornado, a small tornado touchdown in Des Moines. Yeah, a November tornado. We call it a tornado. And it hit Des Moines over by the airport briefly. But what's really weird is that exact same part of the clouds passed right over my property. Yeah, I was sitting down and we lost internet connection, of course, because I got satellite. And then we lost the TV, and then the lights flickered a little bit. And I thought, well, this is no good. And then, you know it's no good when your lights flicker. So I went running to the door, and Mike went running to the window. And what was really weird is that, well, it wasn't weird, it was kind of scary. Everything was going to the north. I mean, it was like a monsoon, and it hit the house. You could just feel the house go, ooh. And it hit the house, and it was just blowing like all get out. And that was kind of scary. I mean, I'm a guy who loves a good thunderstorm. I mean, I love thunderstorms, but that kind of freaked me out. I was about ready to run down to the basement. We watched it for a minute, and we weren't really quite sure how to act, and the weirdest thing happened. It just stopped. Instantly, it just stopped. I mean, there was rain, there was wind, there was tree branches, munchkins, everything was just blown in the wind, and then it just stopped. And then it went away, and then it rained a little bit more, and then clear skies. It was like being in the eye of a hurricane. And then when our satellite came back about a half an hour later, we found out that Des Moines got hit with the exact same system, and that had a little mini tornado in it. So I was actually kind of lucky, cross my fingers. Don't want to get blown away. I love a good storm, don't want to die in a storm. That's the balance I got going on here. But anyway, I do have some questions that you guys asked, and there are actually some pretty good ones too. I always get the best questions on the Voodoo Garden channel. I don't know why. People ask questions on the Praxis channel, and those are fun. But the Voodoo Garden channel, I think I bring in all the weirdness in your head, and I really like that. But anyway, I'm going to start on the questions and answers and give you the answers to your questions. All right? Let's start with number one. I don't remember who the name of this was. He asked it in a private message, and then I told him to check on the Voodoo Garden channel, but then I didn't log back into there, and so I don't know who the name is. But whoever you are, you're watching the Voodoo Garden channel, and this was your question that you sent to me. Have you managed to grow any fruiting trees indoors and have them fruit successfully? There's a quick answer to that. Yes, I've grown lots of fruit trees. I've grown a lemon tree. I've grown a pomelo. I actually have a pomelo, and if you don't know what a pomelo is, it's actually pretty cool. Somebody sent me, I think his name is Max, sent me this big green thing, and it's called the pomelo. I had no idea what a pomelo was, and so I sliced it open and shoved it in my mouth. It was actually really good. So I took some of those seeds and I planted them, and one of them sprouted, so now I have a pomelo from the fruit sent to me by Max. The best I can describe it as kind of tastes like a grapefruit, but not sour. It was sweet, and that's kind of rare for a grapefruit. Sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. Most of the times they're sour. But I grew a seed from that, so now I got a pomelo about this tall, and it hasn't flowered or fruited yet because it's too young. I've grown a really nice, I think it was a lemon tree. I'm pretty sure it was a lemon tree. I grew it, I pruned it, it grew out sideways. I had all these wonderful branches growing on it. It was just beautiful, but I didn't bring it with me when I moved. I just didn't do that. So no, I don't have one that actually flowered and fruited, but eventually I'm sure this pomelo will. So stay tuned. Eventually you're going to see it fruiting. Next question. This one is not just from any particular viewer. This is from a lot of you. On the last episode, I think it was the last episode. I don't know. I get lost. But anyway, a lot of people were asking me, Ray, did I win the Praxis cherry tomato seeds? And that comes from, I think it was a couple episodes ago. I was giving away, I mentioned that I'm giving away the Praxis cherry tomato seeds. All you had to do on that video is type in cherry tomato. And it was a very, very simple thing. You type that in there. I select 100 people at random. There was 100 winners on this. Actually, there was 110 because I wanted to make sure that I got more than enough out. So I had 110 emails that I sent out. And what I did was I went to your name, went to your YouTube channel, and typed in, clicked on message. And then when it brought up the message screen, I sent you a private message to your YouTube channel. And by the way, here's a screenshot of the messages that I sent out, so you know that I actually sent them out. Check this out. Yeah, there's 110 of those, and it is a lot of work. You actually got to, well, I cut and pasted. It was the exact same thing, but cut, paste one, cut, paste two. I sat at the computer for a good hour sending out 110 emails. So if you didn't get an email from me, you didn't win. It's as simple as that. And I had so many people that wanted those. I wish I could give them to everybody, but I just don't have that volume of seeds. So I gave them to 110 people. And what was really weird is only about maybe 45 people responded. So I only sent out 45 winning entries, and the other people haven't responded yet, but they have until the 15th of November to respond. So if you enter that contest, check your email messages on YouTube. Okay, how you do that, you're just going to have to figure it out, because I'm not going to go through a whole thing on telling you how to use YouTube. That's just not what I do here. So find out how to check your private messages on YouTube. And if you got a message from me, get it back to me by the 15th, because if it's after the 15th, I can't send you anything. Because what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to give them away on my Facebook channel. Yeah, I have about maybe 50, 60 something of them left over or something like, I didn't count them all. But anyway, I have that many left over. And whoever doesn't claim theirs, I'm going to take those, and I'm holding another, my third Praxis Seed giveaway. But there's a twist to this too, okay? Everything's good in the Voodoo Garden, all right? What I'm going to do is this. I had a bag of seeds from the Praxis cherry. I saved them all summer long. I was slicing tomatoes all summer long. And I had so many left over. I had more than enough for that giveaway. And I took the bag of seeds and I gave them to one anonymous person on Facebook, a friend on Facebook. And she's a really, really beautiful person. She had some hard times happen to her recently. I think her house burned down or something like that, but she's getting her life together and picking herself back up. But she's pushing on, and I really respected that. And I wanted to find somebody who would really get some joy out of this and be able to spread it around, and she's the person. I'm not going to mention the name, but what I'm doing is on my Facebook page, and people, right now, a lot of people are saying, Ray, you got a Facebook page? I thought you trashed Facebook because you didn't want them because they wanted your ID. Remember a long time ago I said Ray versus Mark Zuckerberg? Well, Mark Zuckerberg and I butted heads and I won. Yeah, they wanted my driver's license in order to get back onto Facebook. And I said no. And they said yes, and I said no. And so I communicated with the staff at Facebook, and I didn't have to give my driver's license. And I thought that was pretty cool, because I thought that was kind of invasive. You know, I don't want you to have my driver's license. I don't know who you are. And I thought it was kind of stupid. So anyway, I held my ground and I won, and I was able to reestablish my Facebook account. So now I have a Facebook account that's running. I don't really interact as much as I used to, but I do interact on it. And it's really kind of a cool place, because it's for people to get to know me personally. On my channels, you get to see the indoor gardening. On the Praxis channel here, you get to see the outdoor gardening, Rascal, the goats, and everything. But on my Facebook channel, I just hang out. And people private message me. I talk to them personally. So if you want to actually interact with me on a personal level, that's the way to go. No, I don't charge to talk to you. I don't get back to you. I don't send spam emails or take your information. It's just me. Okay? So if you want to get a hold of me, I have a link underneath here, and it's to my Facebook channel. Don't worry, I don't sell anything. I'm not trying to promote anything. It's just where I like to relax, hang out, and basically see what you're doing, you know. And I do that. I check people's Facebook pages out, and I interact with them on that stuff. But anyway, so if what I'm getting at, and this is kind of cool, is a person on Facebook has some of those Praxis cherry seeds, enough for about maybe 50 to 100 giveaways. And I took mine, which is about maybe 50 to 60, I'm thinking, and I'm going to go over there as well. And here's the kicker, okay? I have like over 4,500 or 4,300 people on my friends list, and I put out a notice on there. If you have any seeds whatsoever, I don't care how many you have, how few you have, what you have, as long as they're legal, bring them over to my page. And on the what day was it? The 22nd of November, which is on a Sunday, I'm going to host general seed giveaway and exchange. That way, if you want seeds, or if you have seeds that you want to offer, even if it's just 10 tomato seeds, whatever you have to offer to help other people out, whatever they have that can help you out, we're all going to post what we have, and it's going to be like you send a self-addressed envelope, I'm going to put the seeds in there, and they're going to send them off to you. So it's going to be like kind of a swap meet, garage sale, potluck, everybody get together kind of thing. It's going to be fun. And I like doing things like this because it's where people can actually share and exchange and get to know each other. And my Facebook is not a gardening group. It's just a group of friends. We have pets, we have opinions, we have things that we want to post, recipes, gardening stuff, you name it, it goes on there. And these people are so cool. They are the nicest people. They're not crazy, they're not creepers, you're safe, it's child friendly, family friendly, it's wonderful stuff, no cussing, nothing like that. It's where everybody gets together and you can let your guard down and just have a good time. And if you want to just hang out and get some seeds or share some seeds, that's the place to go. It's going to be November 22nd on Sunday. It's going to be a good time, probably around 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to do that, go onto Facebook, send me a friend request. I accept all friend requests as long as you're not a spammer. You're welcome over there, and let's just hang out, okay? So anyway, that's what's going to happen. And so if you want to know if you want any Praxis cherry seeds, there's your answer. And also another chance, the final chance to get some seeds. All right, next question. Mr. OS asks, Ray, do you think Rascal knows he's super famous worldwide? Yeah, he does. That little butthead. He's always camera hogging. I mean, he's definitely photobombing me every chance I get. Everywhere I go, he just happens to be there. Have you ever noticed that on the Praxis channel? I'm out there and I'm doing my stuff, and then you see this little crackhead just walk on by and he kind of looks around. That's not accidental. I think that dog knows when I start talking, come over to me, and that's what he does. And in here, every now and then, he just happens to show up out of the blue. And I'm reading a question, all of a sudden he's just sniffing around like, hey, nothing to see here, and he's there. But the thing is that Rascal is such a sweetheart. He's not just any dog, he's my companion. And I've had dogs before, but I've never really had a companion that was so in sync with me, and I was so in sync with as Rascal. And it's really kind of weird. And I think people pick up on that as well. And people will send me things. They ask me for my address, and I give my address. They send me seeds. They send me gifts. This voodoo garden is like a shrine to amazing things that people send me. They send me seeds. They send me plants. They send me gifts. Things on the wall. Everything here is from you. This is from you. But Rascal, he gets boxes. He gets envelopes and Christmas presents all his own. He's got a sock monkey bed that was sent to him. He gets treats sent to him. He gets all kinds of fun stuff. Stuffed animals. He is buried in stuffed animals. Don't send any more stuffed animals. He's got more than he can possibly chew. But most recently, a friend, I won't mention any names, but a friend did this. I think it was, she said her husband was a viewer of mine, and she checked out my channel. She thought it was just so cool. She thought it was great, and she's an artist. And she's not just an artist, she's a darn good artist. And she hand painted an oil painting for me, and she sent it to me. And it's an original oil painting of my famous co-star. I want to bring this up here, but I want to show you this. First off, it's a real oil painting, and I got to get this thing framed because this is beautiful. It actually captures Rascal. It's not just something that sort of looks like Rascal. Check this out. Now, is that beautiful or what? Yep, that's Rascal. He's sitting on the porch. Yeah, I think I took a picture of him, and she took that, and just from that, she painted this picture, and it really captures him, doesn't it? That is beautiful, and she signed it for me. I really, really like this. This is absolutely beautiful. And it took time, it took effort, and it was something from the heart, and I appreciate that. That is absolutely beautiful. By the way, thank you so much. That is going to be framed and put into my living room over by my desk so I can look at it every day. That's great. And but yeah, he is definitely the superstar, and every day with him is a pleasure. He just makes everything better, you know? It's kind of like icing on the cake is good, but I prefer cake. I mean, if I had a choice, I would definitely choose cake over icing. He is the cake to my icing. Okay, next question. Next question from Grandpa Plant Man. The garden looks awesome. How long do you leave your lights on? That's a very common question, and I want to answer that for people who don't tune into all the programs. I turn them on in the morning at around I think it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I turn them off at 5 o'clock in the evening. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I don't go by any specific formula. You know, that's one of the things in my Praxis channel and in my Voodoo Garden channel. Science goes out the window. I'm not a scientific kind of guy. I don't do things science-wise. I don't measure. I don't really plan. I don't think about the technical aspect of gardening. What do you mean? I don't think of the technical aspect of gardening. I just go with my gut. You know, it's gut gardening for me. And with the lights, I just turn it on when I wake up and I turn it off at dinner time. That's what I do. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And for some reason, it just seems to go good. This is a beauty. I had to bring this over here. It's normally over there. I had to bring this over here, and I might have to buy myself a plant stand for it because it took over this table and it's really getting out of control. So I don't know what to do with it except bring it out here and show it off. This is my spider plant. It works. It seeds, it flowers, it grows, all with a 12 on, 12 off light cycle, and also with the light bulbs that I use. The light bulbs that I use are nothing special. They're not like a certain color light for this and a certain color light for that and all this other, I call it nonsense, but I don't want to offend anybody, but it is. As far as I'm concerned, it's nonsense, because if it were so absolutely necessary, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing here. And I do it, and I do it quite well, as a matter of fact. So apparently I'm doing something right. So if I'm doing something right, good for me. And that's what I tell people when you're in garden. You know, experts will tell you so many things that you're doing wrong, and I'm just telling you, try it. Try it. It may work out. You never know. These plants didn't read the books. So yeah, with my lights, I think I'll take a link, and I'm not promoting this website, but this is where I buy all my bulbs, and I only use one type of bulb for everything, and I'll put a link below. All right, I got a link below to my Facebook. I got a link below to these light bulbs, and I'm going to get to one other question. It's coming up. Ray, will you send me out one tobacco seed pod? I'll pay for delivery. And that's from Jovica. Sorry, Jovica, I can't do that. And I don't do individual seed requests. And I don't mean to be mean, but I get a lot of them. You can imagine, I get seed requests every single day, all day long. And I wish I could. I wish I had a staff, I wish I had seeds, and I wish I had the money to pay for postage and the time to actually do this. And you know, when I do this, I can't just send stuff in an envelope. Sometimes it has to be a padded envelope, and I have to actually drive into town, which is 10 miles away, to the post office, because you can't, I don't have the stamps for padded envelopes here, and I don't send stuff through regular stamps that often. But aside from all the weird excuses I'm dealing out here, the fact is, I just can't do this on a one-on-one basis. And so what I do is I try to host seed giveaways. That's why I do the yearly seed giveaway. That way I try to hit everybody all at once. And I'm still going to be doing that too. The notices are going to be coming out next month, so stay tuned. As far as the tobacco seeds, if you go to the Facebook page on the 22nd, I'm going to be offering those Praxis cherry seeds, the leftovers, and the mystery person is going to be offering Praxis cherry seeds. But also, I'm digging into my stash, and I do have quite the stash. That tobacco plant that I grew, I saved every single seed from that thing, and I put them in an envelope, and I'm going to be packaging those off into little tiny packets, and I'm going to be throwing that into the mix as well, along with some exotic seeds that I've received from viewers that I'm not going to use, because I can't grow everything. I mean, come on, I only got a room this big, right? So I'm going to be offering those out, and when people send me seeds, they do this with the understanding that I'll grow what I can, and I'll find good homes for those that I can't grow. That's just how it is. So if you want me to grow what you send me, don't be disappointed if I don't, okay? If that's going to disappoint you, please don't send me seeds, because I can't guarantee I'm going to grow them. But I can guarantee that they're going to grow somewhere, either on my property outside, and I got a big bag of seeds that I'm going to be just guerrilla gardening all over next year, or I'll grow them inside, or I'll send them to somebody that I know is going to give them a good home. I'll give you that guarantee. But if you want those tobacco seeds, I'll be offering them on my Facebook, and I'll be doing as many as I possibly can. You know what's really weird? When I do things like this, I don't do it to promote myself. I don't do it to give myself a pat on the back. I don't do it for views or subscribers or anything, because I'll give you a little insight on this, all right? Whenever I do things like this, it actually has a negative effect on what I'm doing here, my channels, and me, because there are the happy people who win, but of course there's always more people who don't win. And that's just the nature of a contest. But this is the weird part. Some of the people who don't win get angry with me, and they'll either thumb my video down, or they'll post angry comments, or they'll call me names, or they'll send me nasty messages. And that's just how life works. Some people are poor losers, and that's really kind of sad. So whenever I host these things, I brace myself because I know what's going to happen. The backlash is always negative for me, and it doesn't stop me. I'm going to continue doing this because I know it's a good thing. But I want to let you guys know that I don't actually benefit from this at all, monetary or popularity or anything. In fact, it has the exact opposite. I have to deal with all the idiots that come along, and believe me, there are plenty of those. So if you don't win seeds or anything like that, please try to have some consideration. Just treat me like a human being, okay? I'm doing the very best I can, and not everybody can win, okay? Keep that in mind. All right, next question from Forgotten Ear. Is there something you would like to plant that you haven't? And I thought about that while I was printing this out. And yes. You know, one thing I would love to grow that I've never been able to grow indoors. I mean, we're talking indoor gardening because this is a voodoo garden, right? A rose bush. I love roses, okay? And I don't love any rose. Most roses I can't stand. Because when I was a kid, I remember rose bushes being these big bushes, you know, that would grow in somebody's yard or on a hedge. And they would be swarming in bees. And you'd walk up and you could just smell roses, you know, and they weren't any kind of fancy roses, and they weren't any particular type of rose. But they had a smell, and that rose smell reminds me of when I was a kid. But what happened is, industry being what it is, they want big, beautiful roses, and they sell roses at florists that are just perfect and stuff, but they really don't have the smell. They have the look, they don't have the smell. I don't care what a rose looks like. I'm in it for the smell. If I want a beautiful flower, I'll print out a picture of a rose. I want flowers that smell. And it would be so beautiful because roses will flower practically constantly if you keep pruning them back and taking care of them and stuff. I would love to be able to grow a rose indoors in the voodoo garden. One of these years, I'm going to find me a rootstock of a rose bush that flowers continuously and has the strongest rose smell that there is. I don't care what it looks like. It could be, you know, brown for all I care. As long as it smells good, that's what I'm in it for. I'm into smells. And so it would be nice to walk in here and smell roses. So one of these years, you're going to see a rose bush in here, and you're going to see me with a big, screwy smile on my face. Okay, last question. This is from a constant viewer, and his name, or her name, is Bishpillis. Did I pronounce that right? Probably not. And Bishpillis asks, I grew a few kiwi plants inside, had them outside for the warm season, but now I have to take them back inside before frost comes along. However, they look so sad. Any tips? Well, first of all, I have a comment. Okay, Bish, I'll call you Bish because, you know, we're that close. Bish, you were saying that you had it growing inside, you took it outside, it grew outside, but now it looks like crap, basically, in a nutshell. It looks like crap. Well, it looks like crap for a reason, and I don't know what that reason is because I don't know what kind of conditions you have it in, what kind of soil, what kind of pot, what kind of sun. You know, something made this plant look like crap. And you may want to find out what that reason is, because if that reason is insects, you're going to be bringing them indoors. And, you know, that's a bozo no-no in the voodoo garden. You guys know that. I'm all into not bringing any kind of nasties from outside to inside. Keep the nasty out, keep the good in. And if your plant is looking kind of bad, something's going wrong. If it's not insects, it's care. So your care out, and by the way, here is a tip for you. If your plant is doing crappy outside, it's not going to look any better inside, okay? Because these are not optimum growing conditions. This is what I call the hospital, okay? Outside is perfect. Inside, we maintain as best we can, but it's not the best of conditions. We just do the best we can. I mean, come on. These plants would not look like this if they were outside in their perfect natural conditions. They would be so much better looking. But this is the best I can do with indoor gardening. So, your outdoor plant, if it looks like crap outside, trust me, it's going to look like crap times 2 when you bring it inside. So try to find out what your plant is doing outside wrong, or what you're doing wrong with your plant outside before you bring it inside. Okay? That's my advice to you. And also, when you bring the plant inside, you have to treat them for insects, or otherwise it's going to contaminate your soil, your other plants in the soil. Spider mites, that's a big thing. Aphids, all kinds of weird stuff can be brought in, and boy, when they come inside and there's no counterbalance, they just go crazy, right? So you're going to have to do that. And if your plant is looking like crap and you treat it with what I would treat my plants with, is neem in the soil, pyrethrin on the leaves. If you do that kind of treatment, and I have a video on that, if you do that kind of treatment and it's looking sad, you're going to kill it. So I really can't help you with that, except to say, find out what the problem is, fix that problem before you bring it inside, okay? All right, there we go. It was just that easy. Okay. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I'm not going to go on and do all kinds of demos and stuff. Maybe I'll do that next week. But I have a really good reason for that. I was building a trough for my goats outside because I want to feed them out of a trough instead of a bowl, because Bucky is being a butthead, and Bucky has found out that if you hit the bowl, it flips it over. And that's really kind of funny, except for he's wasting a lot of food. So every time I pour in food, Bucky just goes like that. And Bucky needs a timeout. And so I built a trough, and I'm attaching it to the wall. And I built 2 troughs, actually. I built one, I put it out there, and he tried to hit it, didn't work. So he stood in it. And I didn't care. Okay, that was too much fun. I'm here talking like an idiot, and then I see on the screen right next to you over there, it goes, bling, and my camera just turns off for no reason. Apparently I bore my camera. Okay, well, sorry about that. Anyway, what I was getting at is that I built a second trough, all right? The first trough really ticked him off, so I figured, why not just do it 2 times? And so I did another trough. And that way I can spread the animals out, because they all coagulate around one container. And it's ugly. It's ugly. Those turkeys are getting big, and they're taking less crap off of Bucky and Lewis. And Bucky and Lewis, mainly Bucky, because he's the one with the attitude. Bucky, when he gets too crowded, he just loses his mind and starts taking his head, and he knocks the turkeys around. Well, the thing is, the turkeys are getting a little tired of this, and they're starting to stand up for themselves. And one day I'm going to go out there, and those turkeys are going to be beating the living daylights out of that poor goat, because turkeys can be tough. So anyway, I built another trough, and I was screwing it together, and I made a rookie mistake with that. I pushed hard with the drill to push the screw in, and anybody that's worked with tools, you know what's coming next. My finger fell off to the side, and the Phillips bit went right into my finger, actually right onto my finger, but it went so hard, I got this blood blister from the 7th level of hell. And it is horrible. I can't touch anything with this. And then I was doing another thing, and my fingernail came up on this. And have you ever done that, where you do something and your fingernail pulls up and you're like, and you don't want to look at it because you think you just pulled your fingernail off? Well, yeah. So now I have 2 fingers out of commission. I only have 8 left. So I'm taking it easy with my fingers, and I don't want to be doing anything here because I have to move my hands, and it really, it feels kind of gross. So yeah, no work in the voodoo garden today. Next time, I promise, okay? Maybe a couple weeks, because I got some things to do. I got to do that seed giveaway and stuff, and I got to go visit some people. So anyway, if you have any questions and you want it read on the air, please post it in the comments section of the Voodoo Garden. I love questions, and I will read them on the air, question and answer. And this used to be called Weekend Edition, and I really enjoyed doing Weekend Edition, but I kind of got busy and stuff, but I want to do that again. So anyway, questions and answers on the Voodoo Garden. Until next time, this is Ray. I'm out of here. Okay. Ooh, don't get no dust on this. Art.